Lads and ladies, I'm Royalivi and the MLS Masters 2nd edition is here, and congratulations, you're among the qualified, which is me in this case, and I actually qualified for the MLS Masters Limited Silver, which if I click enter now, I assume we'll see here. Yeah, MLS Masters Silver. That was for getting 3 hot streak wins in a row. I was one off of getting the 5th one about a month ago. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, so we're only in the silver bracket. No qualifications in rare either, which is a big shame. Lots of 2 hot streaks, but, you know, always the bridesmaid, never the bride in my case. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's still some good prizes up for grabs on the leaderboard, which we can see here in first place spot in the MLS Masters Silver Limited. You'll get $750. That's a decent amount of moolah right there. 250 plus if you podium all the way up to top. Even the top 100, right, you're getting $20. That's not bad at all at limited level, with $5 for the top 300, some essence down below that. Especially if we look at only 635 managers entered so far. I'm sure by the time the game goes live, that'll be 1,000, maybe 1,500. But still, there's a good chance of winning some cash money here, which God knows we need it in the MLS. We've had a terrible season in the MLS. I'm not going to show you, but just take my word for it, okay? It's been pretty fucking bad. But maybe this game week can be my Masters silver lining. So let's go and have a look at my team. There are some rules to consider. 5 times limited cards. Makes sense as a limited entry. So I can't actually use any of my rares here. That's a good fault. Yeah, so it is literally for the scarcity you're in. All cards in season, so no classic players allowed. And then the big one at the bottom there, min 2 players scoring an average of 50 or below in the last 15 games. That could make it tricky, especially when you consider not just for myself, but for a lot of managers who have qualified here and done well on the hot streaks, they'll probably have a lot of players that are better than a last 15 average of 50. I know I do in these outfield spots, so we've got to keep that in mind, which is why in the goalkeeper spot, I'm instantly rolling out Kalina or Fries as my option here, both plus 50, not going to waste that on a goalkeeper. So it comes down to Lloris, Berkey, or Stuver. Berkey's technically got the greener scores going on here, but I just don't love St. Louis at all in any respect, so I'm probably going to avoid him. It's then the case of, do we go Stuver or Lloris? Probably going to go Stuver. He's been my boy for a long time. He recently got a clean sheet in the last game, and yeah, I feel like he just does a lot of good saves. I guess when he's not getting a clean sheet, his scores are pretty bad, right? They're in the 40s barely. Is Lloris like slightly better on that scale? Is he pushing higher? No, he's about the same really. So this is more of just a generic goalie pick. Austin are away, LAFC are away. Yeah, there's no like defining edge for me here, so we're just going to straight up go for Brad Stuver. Happy with that. Welcome to the MLS Masters Silver All-Stars team. But this is where it gets tricky because, as I say, I need another player below a last 15 average of 50. If we go up here and put our starting prediction up to about 41%, beat that 40% mark, we'll see my options are not fantastic. Not keen on any of these 3. Probably going to be Alba, right? It's a bit annoying to only see 60%. I don't think he's missed any games at all recently for any reason other than his suspension here. So I think he's going to be in, right? It'd be really annoying to have a DNP in the Masters competition, but that would be the way the cookie would crumble if such a case was to arise. In the midfield spot, for me, it's no question, Carlos Hill, right? Obviously not under 50, so he's one of the big players going in the team here. But home to Atlanta, who concede goals for fun, it's just an obvious choice, right? He's actually been on a bit of a dry run for himself, all things considered. Obviously, he got a goal here and a pretty decent performance here, but the scores haven't been great over the last month. But, if we scroll back a bit, you can see what he's capable of here. Oh, just look at this, right? Oh, my God, that's a player right there with a favourable home fixture. Carlos Hill is in, which means our forward spots, every player is above 50. Okay, that's going to make the extra spot a bit tricky. And again, it's probably going to pick itself, right? I think you can all guess who I'm going to pick here. Obviously, it's Christian Arango, right? He's definitely going into it. No, I'm kidding. It's Messi. Everyone relax. Of course it's Messi. He actually just got a hat-trick in the midweek competition. I've got a lineup with him in, which is going quite nicely, so we'll see what he can do. Yeah, 200s back-to-back. If he can make that third 100, it's going to be lovely. I'm sure a lot of managers in these competitions will have a Messi involved. Hopefully that's more skewed to the MLS Masters Limited Gold bracket, and there's less Messis in the Silver bracket, but who knows? So in the extra spot, if we set that last 15 average to 0 to 50, we can see who I've got available. And it's not looking good, bruv. I'm not a keen man on any of these individuals. So let's hit up the transfer market. So here we go. We've got MLS last 15 average score of 49 or below. And then we're only going for midfielders and forwards, as I don't usually like to double up on defenders here. So let's have a look and see if anyone picks our fancy. Instantly, I'm looking at Diego Rossi. Love Diego Rossi. Big problem. It's a 62 average score of his last 15, so I'm not sure what's going on there, or if that's going to, like, come off of his score once the game week ends or something. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's just clearly 62. 0% of games played over the last... Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah, that don't make sense. I don't know why he's coming up, all right? That seems all kinds of fucked up, but we're going to move. We're going to ignore him. We're literally going to go for a player who you can see on the surface has below 50. Darren Yappi, for instance, has below 50. Are we going for him? Absolutely fucking not. But let's continue to have a look here. Muller. Wow, Muller would be an option if he wasn't 37 quid. And he looks like he's DMP'd his last 2 games. Only 20%. Yeah, Muller's not the guy. I can't believe he's 37 quid. That's a lot. I'm sure he's got less cards at Vancouver. Oh, he's literally brand new. 4 out of 1,000. Yeah. Well, no, this is on the market. I don't fucking know. Fuck that. I ain't paying that. Triantis is... Oh, he must be on loan to someone in the league. Okay, who's he at these days? He's at Minnesota. Wow. I mean, technically not a terrible shout, and he does have capability of scoring points well, especially if he's 80% to play, right? Yeah, I had him at Hibs. I had his Hibs card last season when he was on this run of form. It was very impressive. So I wouldn't even completely rule that out. I'm going to keep looking. We're going to keep looking. Anyone else? Diego Luna's got to be a shout, right? Although he's Real Salt Lake. So if we do get Diego Luna in, that means Lloris is in goal instead of Stuver. Yeah, his scores aren't fantastic. He's got, you know, some good heights and lows. Like, again, it's an option for a fiver. Is it the right choice? I'm not so sure. Here's another player I like. Quinn Sullivan. I have him at rare level. And again, you're probably wondering why I like him, because his scores are not doing so hot right there. Lots of DMPs in the middle as well. I'm sure at one point he was doing okay, right? Yeah, like maybe around here. I like Quinn Sullivan. You know, he's Philadelphia. DC United's a good fixture. He's only a quid, right? It seems crazy buying a player for a quid for a competition this massive. But he might be the answer, you know. And then anyone else here that we fancy? Schaffelberg, he's back in the squad these days. He's only £1.60, 70% to play. Yeah, I mean, he's certainly an option. This is tricky. Am I crazy for thinking Triantis is the way to go here? Am I crazy? Can someone let me know in the comments if I'm fucking crazy? Because I feel like this is the player I'm about to buy. And it could be a masterclass, or it could be a disaster class. Either way, I think the card should still count, even if I get the Sunderland one, right? I don't need to get like one of these Minnesota ones, do I? I can just get a Sunderland one, it should still work. Let's fucking find out, shall we? This will be interesting. Here we go. Confirm and pay now. We've got it. It's Triantis. Welcome to the team, brother. Let's see if this works. Here we go. We're back on the squad selection screen. My new signing, Nectarios Triantis, is there and available at 80% to play. We're locking him in. He's the guy. He's our guy. And the captain choice, then, realistically, has to be Messi. I really fancy a Carlos Gil here for some reason. But Toronto are so shit, right? Messi should fucking cook against them. Look, it's all got fire and flames in the graphic as well. That's the definition of cooking. I mean, I have to captain Messi, right? I feel like everyone else who has Messi will captain him. So there's not a lot of differential potential there. I'm not a rapper. But hey, that's the team. That's what we're going with. Stuver, Alba, Gil, Messi, and Triantis. For some reason. Looks pretty nice. Let's confirm that bad boy. And yeah, that's the whole video. I hope your MLS Masters hot streak teams go well, if you're in them. And if not, then I'm sorry. And I'll catch you next time. Because I love you.